Robert Murray, Watercolor, presenting to you a very intriguing watercolor. This is on Winsor Newton artist grade paper, very similar to Arches, which I'm normally accustomed to using. It was a gift. So what you're looking at is 22 by 30 inches is how most people would here in the States know. I know it as 75 by 55 centimeters. It's more logical, the metric, especially when doing picture framing. Running an experiment to see if anybody even cares anymore about original artwork. Would love to see your comments, questions, or complaints, whatever it is that this provokes, to know that this is a watercolor done without so much as a single pencil mark, less than, I would say 10% effects of liquid masking fluid or latex. I'm not exactly happy with the brand that I tried. It melted in the sun within 2 hours. But the water does not have any masking fluid. None. You can see how precise this is. Wait for it. Now watch this. What you're looking at is the backside. That's how precise this is. Sandwiched between two old pieces of plexiglass. As a presentational form, an alternative, ready to ship, because you're going to have to put glass on it anyway, and I recommend you pay for your own museum glass. Thank you very much. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm tired of having to flip the bill for everybody when I should be doing is this. And look, you're looking at the backside. I hope you're getting this. So watch. I'm going to go behind here and turn off the light. You can see it's just a regular lamp. Off. Now let's take a look at the front. This is going to be great. I think you'll enjoy this. Pardon me, I'm not a professional when it comes to videos. I'm just an artist. And I have even a magnifying glass if you'd like to look through it. I will turn it on. I have 3 temperatures going on here. Now I'm going to take the whole painting and move it. As you see, no tricks, no Photoshop. Now we'll look at the front. And then you're going to see, true as day, iridescent trout in the water. As a matter of fact, if you look very carefully, in a minute, let me go get that other lamp out of the way. Pardon the shakiness of the video. Now, watch this. As you see, I'm taking the light. Now this has dual fluorescent type lights, but they're reddish, as you can see. I inherited this from a previous artist that passed away. Gave away some of his things, so this is a gift, which is why I have it in my possession. And this is my way of honoring his gift. Now, the light in this is going to be approximately where my hand is here. So I'm going to position a light as you would considerably think that it would be in context of a real day. Sorry for a little bit of shine there. There is plexi to protect it. Now watch this. Can you see the iridescence on the tree? Here we go. Let's see if I can find a way to block this for a sec. There we go. Let's try that. There, less glare. If you look at it, you'll see there's iridescence. And what's neat about this is the camera is only 2 inches away. As in, here is my actual finger. To get a really cool perspective, again, I do apologize for my non-professionalness when it comes to attempting to show you scale. But this is a very little brush that I didn't actually use in this painting. Do you see how big this is? That you can get a sense of scale. All right, are we getting it? This brush is a 1/2 inch long. And it's not, it touches less than one of the fraction markers on the ruler itself, and that's 1 millimeter right there between those two. This is not what I painted it with. This was to give you a sense of scale. In other words, that's my finger. Now let's go surfing. So the composition begins that there's sunlight. This is about 75 degrees imagined. No photo was used, no drawing was made. This is completely in the zone. There, much better. This is a watercolor, so there's no white paint. Do you see the golden iridescent aspens fluttering in the wind there? Isn't that neat? Now let's go in closer. Again, now I'm going to take one finger away. I'm going to touch the actual surface, and I'm at about 45 degrees. Watch this. This is great. We'll start way at the bottom, or even more. There we go. High angle, 45 degrees. No white paint. All the white is an absence of paint. You can see the brush marks yourself. I am 1 inch away from the surface. Here's the brush. That's a 1/2 inch. That looks cool, the moss, doesn't it? Totally invented. Here I actually did use this brush, and I didn't like the effect nearly as much as using this style, so technically that might have been considered an error. Where are the trout? Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Look at that. Look at that. And it has 5 tones of iridescence suspended in the water. And here's another one. And again, I'm at an angle, so they look a little tweaked a little bit. Oh, look, you can even see its tails and everything, right? And fins. Look, there's another one. And again, sense of scale. Sorry, it is so close. My phone, which is a Samsung Note 9. So you can look up your camera stuff. And then, do you see in there? Oh, look, there's a brown trout, and it's in gold with spots. Scale. Again, this is a 1/2 inch long, the brush tip. It's not what I used to paint it. The rock, if you look, is also shimmers as if it's made of granite. independent of certain stones in there, and the mold. And you can see underneath it, right? Again, we're at a 45-degree angle on this. And if you look in here, look at that, the wetness. This is all invented. Sorry if you think I'm narcissistic or if this annoys you, but someone has to have the courage to chase after Rembrandt in our generation. And I do not want to be stuck with having to make 5x7s in prints as my only means of occupation. Look at that little baby. That right there is a minnow brown trout, specific. Let me come back out so it'll zoom it. You see it? Several iridescents hiding where? Underneath the driftwood. And look behind the driftwood and the water. Now let's really have some fun here. Anybody who's gone river fishing hates it when they get all the seaweed, even if it is a type of moss and it's not the sea. But look at that. Oh, I love it. It's called, if you're going to be an artist, all you have to do is consider yourself like Alice in front of the looking glass and just paint what you would expect to see. And the more you can define it, I'm an inch away, 45-degree angle. Behind plexi, which is why you're catching a little bit of glare. I mean, the phone is touching the glass. Here is, you see what I'm saying. That's a 1/2 inch. And it's 3-dimensional. And the water ripples. You see under the rocks. Over the rocks. Pardon me, there's some dirt there in the glass. It's just for packing. Check out the shoreline and the shadows of the grass. Each individual stone gets darker and darker and more light absorbent without getting shiny. I use well over 120 pigments at my disposal to choose how the lights can pass through it, as opposed to merely its color. In other words, I actually project the luminosity. I didn't use a magnifying glass on this because I can't handle that. Now let's check out what's being reflected here. Doesn't that look cool? Again, pardon my eccentricities. I'm just being myself. The little manzanita bushes along the water edge. All right, we're going to shift it now to directly perpendicular. There we go. Notice that the twigs go in, out, above, through, beyond, and there's rocks on the other side. And check out, you can even see the water and swirls and everything and reflections through the branches. This is done manually. Believe it or not, most of this is a size 8 round Robert Simmons Senna. They don't make it anymore, unfortunately, but the White Sable is comparable. Or the Winsor Newton Universities are good too. Synthetics. Now, I mean, you can see the iridescence now. Now, check out the precision. Some of the twigs are actually shaded. That's a scratch in the glass right there. Sorry. Packing material only. This is how I'm going to show it. It just makes more sense. Nobody wants to buy the damn frame. Pardon my French. Look, you can see the water through the branches. And look, there's rocks and shade and everything on the other side of those leaves. See, this is what I do when I go to a bar. I don't have very many friends, and my wife and son were basically taken away through immigration purposes merely for going to school while we're waiting for the green card process. It truly is a shame. You have to have so much money. I've been gone from the country for about 20 years. This is what I did in the Canary Islands. I had an expo in Christopher Columbus's private residence. He had a girlfriend there, on the island of La Gomera, during a holy fiesta. They gave me chakras. It was incredible to hear 50 people inside a 16th century church simultaneously, palm-sized castañuelas, as most people call them, but chacaras, big as your fist. As a matter of fact, that big. Now let's go back to the art. At this point, you don't realize where you are in the painting. Sense of scale. Hand back. Let's go in. I'm now an inch away. You can see the salt granules that I use to get different effects. And yes, I love teaching. I did not use iridescence on the far shore because I think I wanted to get more perspective and a little bit more loose. This is very, very, very close. And let's go have some fun here with the mountainsides. Behind all this going on, and the clouds are passing overhead. Almost moving. Wouldn't you agree? Wait a minute. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep looking behind the trees. There's the other set of mountains and another range just disappearing off into view. There they are. You see it? Far shoreline, it's purplish. And then that's not the far shoreline, that's on our side of the shore. The other shoreline starts there. This is invented. Influenced by doing a lot of fishing in Colorado, and recently discovering my surroundings near the Rio Grande, like the Dillon Bridge and things like that. Now watch this. I've got a sense of humor. Look at that. Last time those adorned one of my aspen trees, the painting was stolen, but first I had a client have me change it to a C and a G. And the problem was they never paid me for it. And upon moving here, that painting, I did surgery, so to speak, optical illusions, because my understanding in pigmentation, to make it appear like it was done that way in the very beginning. You can actually correct in watercolor to amazing degrees. The trick is to not need to. Same as in oil. Point is, that painting was modified in the Sloan's Park show in Denver, Colorado, 2018. The clients came back a year later, said they wanted the painting, and asked me to change the initials. I did, and they never contacted me again to pick up the painting. Problem is that upon my moving here to Cuesta, look at that. A happy little trout. Everybody accused me of Bob Ross, so I thought I'd just throw that little tribute out there. But you can see the iridescence, can't you? It glints. It's cool. That painting was stolen, by the way. It's fully iridescent. No white paint. In any event, I'm glad that you watched this time with this video to take a look at my artwork. If you'd like to know more, I can be reached at RCMURRAY2, as in the number 2, at hotmail.com. Thank you for enjoying this. I hope to hear from you soon. Oh, and by the way, this has over 50,000 brush marks, but not one stroke of pencil. First to be made available at the Charles Collins Gallery, Taos, New Mexico. Good night.